HooHooHooRobin.
Rich Voss hanging around. We got Marc Maron joining the show. Marc Maron came in here and just entertained the hell out of us. And I'm like, Marc, you got to
thanks.
You got to do some of this for the audience, too. My God.
I will.
We got a private show for Marc Maron. It was terrific.
Just talking about the podcast.
And flying and all.
Well, that was the thing. I was in Buffalo, and, Buffalo is an underrated city. It gets a bad rap. Yeah, no, I
lived there for 3 years.
You did not.
I lived there for 3 years. What are you talking about?
Doing radio?
Yes.
So what my feeling was...
I felt like I was in prison for 3 years.
But it seems like there was some trouble, and that there's some economic problems.
Some strife.
Yeah, but there's a charm to it. The people are beaten down. They're beaten down. They're very pleasant.
They're broken.
Yeah, they're broken and happy.
Yeah. If I was ever close to being an alcoholic, it was when I was in Buffalo for 3 years.
Well, that's how they make alcoholics. It's made in Buffalo.
Jägermeister shots that was like taking vitamins in that fucking city.
But I know I'm not in a good place where I'm driving around. Like, I rented a car because I want to go to see Niagara Falls.
Nice.
And I'm driving around, and this is how I know I'm not in a good place, because I'm like, I could live here.
Wow, really?
You could get a house for a nickel. I could probably make do up here. I could work out of my house.
Very inexpensive.
But the hotel I stayed at, it actually had the personality of a recovering heroin addict.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you walk into a place and you're like, oh, this was bad. Something happened here.
Like the whole place has an evil vibe
right,
to it.
Because they redid it, but there's some shit you can't cover up.
What hotel?
The Lafayette.
Wait, I think that's it looks like a house?
No, it's this huge, old, glorious place.
Oh, okay, never mind.
But it feels like there was a halfway house vibe and smell that you couldn't get out of there. Like, I just pictured walking down the hall to my room that at some point some woman was running down this hallway saying, "He's got a gun!"
That's
and a
Buffalo.
bunch of junkies were walking by going, "Oh, she's pissed again. Wonder what's going on." But
they got that one street that's kind of nice.
I thought it was nice.
Sort of near downtown where all the clubs are, a few restaurants that try to make a little scene down there.
You know, street's great in Buffalo, Route 90, because it takes you out of Buffalo.
You were there. You didn't like the city at all?
I like Buffalo. I like the fans, but it's like I couldn't live there. Everything looked like it was built in 1984 because of the weather damage it takes.
Oh, right. Yeah. Everything has to be rebuilt.
Everything is rebuilt.
It's like Winnipeg. God hates it. Just crushing it with weather.
And you weren't up there during the snowy season, which is pretty much 9 months of the year.
It was beautiful weather.
Okay.
And, we
love Buffalo. We love our fans up there.
No, they force you. I've never seen a town more committed and loyal to bar food as Buffalo is.
Yay! Thank you, Sydney.
What is that, smoothie?
Yeah. What's wrong, Sam?
Our intern, Sydney.
The intern.
Nice.
Anthony thanked her. You didn't even bring him anything.
Well, I just thanked her for.
You know what? It's a new day around here.
She brought a little sunshine into the room, is what she did.
You're a bummer.
That's what I'm saying.
You're a bummer. You got to change your attitude, Sam.
You just look at things on the surface. You don't appreciate the whole picture.
Yep.
E-Rock's been here for, how long now? 9-10 years.
Oh, wow.
And he just got smashed for wearing a shirt with a collar on it. And all you have to do is walk in here and be a girl, and you get a yeah.
They're wonderful.
All right.
Girls?
Yeah.
Yeah, generally
exactly.
Yeah,
Marc.
Generally speaking.
Yeah. So Buffalo was cool to you?
Yeah, no, I was into it. I went to see Niagara Falls. I rented a car. And when you drive to Niagara, maybe I was there with one wife, but I think I erased all the memories.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, they just gone. I have a vague recollection of wearing a poncho and getting wet, but that could have been anything.
The Maid of the Mist is something you got to do.
You do, right?
I loved it. And I don't like tourist shit.
But did you drive through Niagara? That is the saddest fucking town.
Wow.
Like, you literally drive through 4 blocks of this decimated, pathetic, hopeless town to where, it's a good setup for the falls, because either you're going to be like, thank God, or I'm going to jump the fuck in. So I get to the falls, and they're not disappointing. There's no way.
It's amazing.
Some sort of cynical, you got to be a cynical fuck to stand in front of Niagara Falls and go, I get it, just keeps coming. Right. What next?
It's pretty amazing.
But I got very...
Did you go in the tunnels and stuff?
I went on the boat.
Oh, you got to go in the tunnels where you're right under the falls, looking through the falls,
all right,
basically.
Next time.
All right, sorry.
But I went to... the weird thing is that when you go to a tourist attraction, you start hating people immediately. Just like they're there with their kids. They're horrible. There's 9 people. Like, how many tickets? You don't know how many kids you have? And I'm just... and I'm just hating them horribly. And then as you walk down, like I'm filled with contempt as I'm getting on this boat. And then you get to the boat, and everybody gets this garbage bag blue poncho. So now everybody's wearing these fucking garbage bags. And I'll tell you, man, you're on a boat with 100 people wearing garbage bags. Hard to hate people because you all look ridiculous, right? So there's almost like a great equalizer. It's garbage bags.
Yeah.
And but I was amazed at it.
That's what the world needs. We just if we all walked around with garbage bags.
When there's a problem, put people in a garbage bag. Everybody look at yourself.
And everyone will calm the fuck down.
Right. But it was nice, and you take the garbage bag off, and you're right back to fuck these people. Yeah. But I did get stuck in Buffalo, and all I wanted to do was get home.
Yeah.
It was horrible because it was a nice day. I thought I had it made. I had to get home. I had the 400th podcast went up yesterday. My 400th. It's an anniversary.
Congratulations.
It's a big deal.
That is a lot of podcasts.
And I had Iggy Pop on. I'd already recorded the interview, which was kind of hilarious because I was nervous about that. I love that guy. And I didn't know if he was cognizant or whether he could talk or what he was about. And it was kind of weird because I'm waiting for him to come. One limo comes, it's a publicist, and she's got heels on. She gets out. I walk her into my garage. I'm like, can he talk? Is he all right? She's like, yeah, he loves talking. I'm like, fine. So then another limo pulls up, and Iggy's road manager gets out. His 7-foot girlfriend gets out, and he's about to get out. And I'm standing there. I'm like, hey, how you doing, Iggy? You need anything? You need anything? He goes, I need to refresh. And I'm like, I don't know what that means. Do you need coffee? Yeah, coffee, black. Great. Fine. I got that. Yeah, you need water? Water's good, but I need to refresh. And I'm like, okay, I'm not sure what that is. So we walk out to the back deck, and Iggy just starts like, he's standing there, and there's like these 4 people he brought with him, and he's like stretching on my deck, and he's like, this is nice. And he's almost doing like a weird dance. And then within 2 minutes, then within 2 minutes, the fucking shirt comes off. And I'm like, anyone else, that would be like, what is going on? But it's like, no, he's just getting into Iggy. So then we go in to the garage. Well, I'm sitting there with a shirtless Iggy in my garage talking to him, and it didn't make any difference to me at all. There was a couple of points where he just started tweaking his nipple a little bit, and it was a little weird. Yeah. But I didn't bring it up. You know what I mean? I didn't know if he was trying to...
I understand that from both of your points of view, actually.
Wow, he's a strange guy.
No, but it was a great chat.
Yeah.
And
why does he have to take his shirt off?
He loves it. He's an animal.
I don't think I've ever seen him with a shirt on.
No.
Yeah, he does take his shirt off a lot.
He's got to be like 70.
Wow.
And he's about 5 feet tall. He's like 5'2".
Is he a small guy?
Yeah, tremendous. Just like 7 foot tall, Asian, huge boobs.
Wow.
Yeah, he's doing fine.
Yeah.
But the panic was I needed to get back from Buffalo to L.A. and they canceled my flight, American, because it was a mechanical problem. And then you're sort of like, well, is there another flight? No, that's it. There's no more leaving from us.
You cannot leave.
Yeah, so then I rebook on Delta through American with my platinum status. I'm like, you don't fucking understand. I'm platinum. Take care of me. They rebooked me on Delta through Detroit. It leaves in like 2 hours. I'm like, great. 10 minutes after they booked me on Delta, through American, Delta calls me on the phone with an automated call that's saying that the one out of Buffalo is delayed 2 hours. The one out of Detroit's delayed 5. And I got to record. So now I'm fucked. So now I start thinking, like, I got my equipment with me if I need it. I'm like, I'll record in Detroit. Iggy's from Detroit. I'll just go out into the streets and do it there. Like, that's how I'm thinking. All I give a shit about is the podcast. And then finally, I bought a JetBlue ticket to New York, and then they're like, that's delayed till 7. I'm like, is it going to get out of here? And they're like, we don't fucking...
What is going on?
The weather was clear. And that's when I started hating Buffalo. I'm like, can't you get your shit together? Like, American Airlines doesn't give enough of a shit to fly a plane from Chicago an hour so I can get another plane out of that airport?
Oh, boy.
So I bought one at Delta, and this goes nowhere. But anyway, so I flew down here, and I recorded it in the fucking hotel room. But this is not the news.
Oh, so you never got back to L.A.?
No, I didn't.
Obviously.
And now I got to deal with, then I got to call the girl. Like, I'm not going to be back for another 3 days. She's like, it's all right. You're doing what you got to do. And then the next morning, it's like, I really miss you. Here's the news. I asked her to marry me.
Whoa!
Congratulations.
Whoa!
Yeah, It's weird when it's your third time. When people say congratulations, you're like, yeah, we'll see what happens. You've
been with her for a while, though.
I've been with her for like 3 years.
Yeah.
There was a lot of pressure.
Oh.
There's been a lot of pressure, a lot of holding up the finger with the no ring and the waving of the finger. And, finally I did it. I took her out I said, okay, we'll go look at rings. I don't want to buy you the wrong fucking ring. I can't live with that, because I know this girl. If I bought her the wrong ring, it would have been just a nightmare. She was not going to be happy with any ring.
Right.
So I take her to this jewelry store, and we're looking at, she shows me one that she likes. I'm like, all right, I get the idea. And I wasn't even sure when I was going to do it or if I was going to do it, but the next day I went and bought that fucking ring, and I thought, like, whether it happens or not, I'll take the hit if I have to sell this back, but I'm not going to give her a fucking ring that she doesn't want. So she's got me by the balls pretty hard.
I can't believe you're doing this.
I know.
Is this your third marriage?
I know.
How many times?
Yeah, it's third. All right, help me out. Wait, now let's talk about. Wait, one second.
Wait, I'm trying to go back in. I'm trying to go back in time. I think after 2, he said.
Oh,
we got tapes of you.
He has
horrendous.
He has horrendous marriage stories.
Yeah.
Yes.
Look, okay, all right.
What's different? What is happening in your head?
I'm terrified of this one.
Yeah, I bet you are.
I think that's what's different. I'm terrified and I'm concerned.
Man. Yeah.
I don't think I know the difference between, the warmth of rage when it surrounds my heart and the warmth of love when it surrounds my heart.
It's the same thing.
Yeah, I know that when the warmth of rage surrounds my heart, I'm thinking like, fuck you. But when the warmth of love surrounds my heart, I'm afraid of that. So there's some mixture I have to find in the middle. But here's what happens. So I buy this ring, and I decide I'm going to give it to her on her birthday, which is 3 weeks away.
She knew it was coming, though.
Not really. I mean, it was a surprise to her. I don't think she really believed that I was going to do it. And I'm not, I don't know that I did either, but I knew I was going to give it on her birthday. But it was hilarious because I bought that ring, I put it in the drawer, and that ring just turned on this scrutiny. Like, I knew it was out there, and I knew I had it, and I was planning on doing it. So every minute of every fucking day, I was like, all right, this is it. This is what I'm going to do. I'm watching her eyes. I'm watching her mouth. I'm watching what she says. I'm watching how she walks. I'm like, I don't know, that's a weird thing, that walk. It just turned on this thing in my head where it's like, are you fucking sure you're going to do this?
You're never going to be sure.
Everything's under a microscope all of a sudden.
Right. And then her birthday comes, and I didn't know how I was going to do it. I thought, like, why not just put it, because it's her first time. She wants to be excited. I'm a jaded fuck. I want to try to make it good for her. So I didn't know how to give it to her. I knew I had to do something special because she was talking about, like, are you going to put it in a champagne glass? I don't know why all of a sudden I'm doing Dice's Girls. No, but she said, you can put it in a champagne glass at dinner, and I'm like, I don't know what the fuck I'm going to do. I'm not going to do that because obviously you read that somewhere. So my thought was, why not just put it in the bed so she rolls over on it and goes, what's that?
Ow.
And then my friend Jonah said, well, then she might think you fucked someone else in your bed. Yeah, you asked me to marry you as a color.
Oh, shit.
But,
that's funny.
Yeah, so I decided, all right, I'm going to make her pancakes and work from there. And I said, I'm going to make you pancakes for your birthday. And I didn't even know if I had the shit for pancakes. It turns out I had the shit for pancakes. So I make pancakes, and I figure, all right, I'm going to put the ring right on top of the center pancake.
Oh.
Like that. But the problem was, she was in bed. I put the ring in the bedroom to follow through with the rolling over on it plan.
Whoa, okay.
So now she's in bed. I make her these fucking pancakes, and I'm like, why don't you come out and eat your pancakes? She's like, I thought I was getting breakfast in bed. No, formal breakfast today, because I had to get the ring out of there.
Yeah.
So I force her out. I'm like, just come on, eat at the table like a person. So she comes out, and I run back into the room to grab the ring. I put it in the pocket of my robe, and I come back out, and she goes, why'd you run back to the room? And I don't know why I was caught off guard, but I swear to God, I said, I had to get something for my cock. That's what I said. I don't even know why I said that. But on some level, it's kind of true.
100% true.
Yeah.
So then I go into the kitchen, I stick that fucking ring right in the middle of the pancake, and I serve her the pancake. She starts crying. She's like, oh my God. And then I take it out of the pancake, I stick it on her finger, I go, will you marry me? She goes, ow, hot. It's hot. So I got to take the ring off because I burned her fucking finger with the ring. I don't know if that's a sign.
Yeah, that's
So I had to re-propose. I'm like, all right, let's do it again. Will you marry me? She's like, of course I will.
Wow.
And then immediately, I'm like, what'd I do in my head?
Oh. Is there a date or anything?
No, but like I thought, I always think it's going to buy me a little time.
Fast track.
Amazing.
No, she's like, when do you want to talk about the thing? But she doesn't want to have a big thing, which is nice. But I know she wants to have a baby. And I'm telling you, man, there's a feeling in my heart here. There's a wall. There's a wall that I got to get through here.
Right.
Like I know, like I'm very easily angered right now. You know, I should be excited. I'm getting married, but I'm just fucking terrified. And some people are like, "Why are you doing it again?" She's like 19, 20 years younger than me, and I'm like, in my mind, it's like, what else am I going to do? Just cycle through a bunch of middle-aged women?
Yeah.
Am I going to, with the occasional younger one that thinks I'm going to teach her something or resolve some issue she has? I'm just going to do that for the rest of my life till my charm wears off and my game is gone and I'm 65 jerking off by myself, napping. Is that what I want? With no one to leave my money to?
Sounds great. That actually sounds perfect.
You're not going to have to turn Anthony.
Oh my God.
But but the thing is like I think it's all going to happen, and I have not had a child, and I'm terrified of it. And
my
you had
God.
one recently.
I got 2. Yeah, my youngest is 8 months old.
And you're my age, right?
More or less.
All
Yeah.
right,
You might
easy.
have a couple on me.
Okay, I have a
You might have
couple
a
on
few
you.
on
All
me.
right.
I got a 3-year-old too.
Yeah, so and I just hope because there's some part of me like with her where I'm like I'm still having issues with the girl, with the fiance. Where I'm like, I'm still saying to her, "Are you gonna clean up your room?" I mean, I say that to her.
Oh wow, yeah.
So now my concern is I'm gonna have a baby. I'm like, what do I got to clean up after both of you?
Yeah, you do.
You do, right?
Yeah.
But they snap out of it, right? They become mothers and they lock in. Am I right? Tell me I'm right.
Lock in.
Yeah, they become motherly.
Oh,
sure.
Boy.
But they do the thing, right? I'm not gonna.
What thing?
I don't know. Like,
Which thing?
The thing with the baby.
They'll take care of the baby.
They will?
Yeah.
Very motherly.
You're gonna have to get in there every once in a while, change the diaper or something.
No, I know I'm gonna have to do almost everything, but they'll like if the kid doesn't like me, she'll right?
They'll gravitate toward the mom.
Fucking hell,
Bobby
man.
Kelly just had a baby too.
He's my age too, right? Isn't he? A little younger, probably.
No, he's probably a few. Bobby's like 42.
Did you always want to be a father?
No, I never thought about it.
You just never thought about it? No thoughts all these years? I always wanted to, but I was always with the wrong fucking people.
I'm a selfish fucking person, and I think I just learned how to care about some people in general. I think that, between the podcast and the humbling from the second wife and everything, it forced me to open my heart a bit. Like, I really care about this girl. I never really felt that before. Like, it's almost like I care about her in an unusual way. You know, like I'm concerned about, I'm running around like, I have a hard time with this.
Oh, wow, you're in. You're in deep.
You run around what?
Yeah, just, like, you okay, baby? Do you want me to go get you some food?
It's called love. He's in love.
Yeah, but I mean, it's not like she's
I say just fucking go with it.
She's not handicapped, and I'm treating her like, you don't want to leave the house? I'll go
you
get you
want to
something to
do
eat.
things.
Wow, you're in love, man.
It's one of those things that seems codependent, but it's actually love.
Right.
I don't know, Jim.
You're in a deep level of love. I say fuck it. Just go with it.
You got to get out now. Don't do it.
Oh my God.
Just fucking have a kid and just go with it.
We already had the horrible fight, like days after.
The engagement?
Yeah, it was horrendous.
Wow. Really?
It was horrendous.
Usually that puts you in a nice fucking, spot for a while.
Well, it was a good spot for a couple days, but I took her.
Oh man, what happened?
I took her with me on a thing. I was doing these book events. And I wanted her to go because I thought it'd be nice. She hadn't really been to Washington D.C., right? So it was D.C. and then New York and then Boston. So we get to D.C. and I don't know what it is about traveling, but we fucking ridiculous fights when we travel. But here we are in D.C., and I just want to show her around, because I've grown to really appreciate D.C. Whatever the hell goes on there is one thing, but the fucking museums and the monuments,
awesome.
You got to go check it out,
Absolutely.
Right? So I'm like, I'm going to show you, and I'm impressed. This is not like an age thing. I mean, she's 20 years younger than me, but it's not like, Washington's for old people. It's the fucking capital of the country. So we're walking around, and and she had mentioned that she saw some Smithsonian stuff in the museum movies, the Night of the Museum movies. She said, that one of them. Oh no! That one of them had the plane from Kitty Hawk. I'm like, we'll go to Air and Space. I've never been there.
Space. Great.
So we go there, and I'm walking around. I never knew what a fucking guy I am, but I'm not even a plane guy. But you go there, like, look at that jet!
Great.
It's a rocket.
Rockets,
it's
all
amazing.
kinds of great
My
stuff.
dick feels huge here. So we walk around there, and then we leave, and then I'm like, we got to go to the Museum of the American Indian because they have the best food. There's a food court at the Museum of the American Indian where they have like indigenous foods from all the tribes, and it's like all very interesting, and it's real good food, and it's known to be. And she's like, I'm probably not going to want to eat there. And I'm like, because she's like, I'm not hungry, Mom, and she's vegetarian, but they're going to have stuff for you. And she's like, I'm probably not, but we can go. So in my mind, I think, well, she's probably going to want to get something to eat, right? So this is as simple as it goes. This is simple.
No.
So we go to this place, and I'm like looking around, because I love looking at food. You know, like I can go just walk around and look at fucking food, and it's great. So we walk in, I'm like, oh my God, look at all this weird shit. There's squash, and there's like
maize.
Yeah, maize. So you can eat maize. It's vegetarian.
Right.
Have some maize.
Maize.
And then she's like, you know, I'm like, I'm probably gonna get something. You want to get something to go out of vegetarian stuff? She says, I told you I wasn't gonna want to eat here.
Oh.
And I was like, fuck it, I don't want to eat here either. And then the next thing I know, we're in front of the Museum of the American Indian, and she's storming off. She's like, I told you I didn't want to eat there. I'm like, don't fucking run away, like loud, like people are starting to look. And she's like, I'm not doing this. I'm not talking to you like this. I'm like what? Like what?
Oh,
you can't.
no.
I just wanted you to see Washington, and you're gonna fucking do this. You're gonna storm away, and like she's like running away because I'm the yelling guy now, and I'm trying to do it like, you know, like, God, don't you fucking.
Yeah, but you're making a scene.
A little bit. There wasn't a lot of people there, but she's making it too. It's not all on me.
Right.
I'm not going to take that. But I did not have to say, you know, I'm fucking done with this. Give me the fucking ring.
No.
I did.
You said that.
After like 2 days or
maybe a week.
A week?
Because when this happened, they both thought, is this what it's going to be forever?
Right.
This fucking asshole dragging me around to shitty Indian places,
Right.
and you're going, I can't even fucking take her for some culture?
Right. It was horrible. I did a horrible thing. I did a horrible thing. She's like, oh, fuck you. And she gives it to me. And then she storms off. And I storm off. And now we're walking on opposite sides.
She called you Indian giver? That would have been like ironic. Right out in front of the place.
I wish I thought of that.
That would have been a good one. Maybe break the tension.
So now we're walking on opposite sides of the mall in Washington. She's, you know, crying over on her side. I'm walking on mine, knowing I did this shitty thing, and that now I just made it unstable, and I did the worst thing I could possibly do. And I'm like, but, you know, fuck it. She didn't want to eat there, you know. So I'm just storming down the mall, and I'm sort of pacing her. Well, I'm watching her walk away
on the other side. Yeah.
And then she texts me. She's like, I love you. What are we doing?
Oh.
And then I'm like, I love you too. I'll meet you in front of the Capitol. So we met in front of the Capitol. I put the ring back on her finger and asked her to marry me again. I did that 3 times. In a week with the same ring.
In a week.
Yeah.
So what did you wind up eating?
Holy shit, is that great?
What did you wind up eating?
Oh, fuck. What did we went to, she wanted to go see the dinosaur bones. And, you know, then she wanted Chipotle. So that's
What's that?
Chipotle.
Yes.
When's the last time you looked at dinosaurs? It's not nothing.
I love dinosaurs.
like a month ago.
Really?
In New York,
Because you got kids? You
Dinosaurs.
But it's amazing.
One in my yard.
Yes. Do you?
Yeah, I got one of those like
Yeah, we'll show you.
5.5 foot velociraptors.
Oh, you do really?
And I put it by my jacuzzi.
Really?
Yeah. It's like
So you
coming
really
in the.
love dinosaurs?
I love
No,
dinosaurs.
he loves children. Children love dinosaurs.
Got to get the kids into the jacuzzi.
It's terrible.
Dinosaur bones
There it
rule.
is.
There you go. There's his dinosaur.
Oh, that's great.
My little dinosaur.
I just keep when you
Well, the
look
jacuzzi's
at him,
great.
you're like, holy fuck! And this was millions and millions of years ago. It's hard. You know, it's a weird moment of like you're very impressed, but you're also like, oh, we're doomed.
Oh, it's sad.
If these
Yeah, yeah.
these fucking things die for whatever reason,
Just
of
to
course,
imagine
it's gonna
that
come
they
out of nowhere.
that they were actually there at some point. They actually lived
it's
and
crazy.
walked around. It's like that's a monster. That's a real life monster.
Yeah,
and it was walking the earth.
I just hate they put the dates on. I'm like, oh, really? This
That
is
long
like
ago?
80 billion years ago?
But also, when you see the ones that were in the ocean, that's why I don't go in the
Right.
ocean. Because in my
man.
mind, a couple of them have to be out
You
there.
think?
still there.
Yeah, they got to be out
And
there.
they're like as big as this building,
Yeah,
like
and they're out
fucking
there.
Right.
giant teeth.
Big, that scares the shit out of me.
Monsters under the water.
Yeah,
We don't know.
I can't even go into a pool at night.
We don't know at night.
Yeah, if I can't see the bottom.
Fucking creepy down there.
What got in the pool?
You don't know what's in there when you go in the ocean. It's like
Horrendous.
you look down. It's got this weird. You can see a little bit down here, but I'm not going to show you much. The ocean does not tip its hand. You fucking in there. It's all based on faith.
And the light is what? Only 200 feet, I think?
Yeah,
After that,
fucking-
it's just complete fucking darkness.
Oh, it's horrible. It's a horrible feeling. Those people that can just jump off boats and swim around, I
my
can't.
God.
Talked about it. We took a lot of boats across Lake Erie, and
Even in a lake, right?
we would stop in the middle, and you know the tunes are cranking, and we go for a swim, and we would take our showers because it's fresh water.
Yeah.
And when you dive off that boat, you're like, what the fuck is staring right back at me? I was petrified. I'm not even gonna make believe. And then I would swim around the boat, just keep the boat nice and close.
Yeah.
I'm a real fucking wimp.
If you looked at where you were and how big you were, if you
Compared
drained
to-
all the
oh,
water
God, yeah.
and just put you in midair where the water would be, you're like hovering over mountain ranges.
Sure.
And all kinds of goodies are down there.
Horrendous.
Right.
Horrendous.
Big monsters. You're a speck.
But if you close your eyes, it's all good.
Yeah, I mean, you
Keep your
man.
eyes closed when you jump in.
Right, the odds are with you probably in a lake.
Because I don't want to open that eye and see some
Yeah.
blurry shit coming at me.
But in a lake, what's the worst it could be? A giant catfish.
Sure.
Right?
I don't know. I think they.
Well, there's no sharks in the lake. There's no dragons.
They got some shit.
Have you seen what's that show on TV? The River Monsters. Yeah.
River Monsters is a great show.
River Monsters.
With the zombie kids eating your feet.
Oh, God.
What is that? It's windshield wipers hitting you in the toes.
Nibbling on you.
You see the alligator turtle thing?
No.
It looks like it's fucking
In the
a
River
dinosaur.
Monster?
Yeah.
I'm
I don't know the
telling you.
name of it anymore, but.
Yeah.
Oh.
They're
It's
out there.
fucking-
What about the
it's
guys? We talk about it from time to time on our show. The guys that go noodling. Would you do that?
I don't know what noodling is.
You've never heard of noodling?
I thought it was a guitar term.
They
Yeah,
fuck,
you get noodle
I noodle on
around.
my
they
guitar.
go in these swamps and these riverbeds.
Yeah.
And they go for the cat. Is it catfish they're going for?
Catfish, yeah. It's all kinds of.
And they
it's
put
mostly
their
catfish.
arm in these fucking holes, and the catfish bites them all the way
Oh,
up.
they pull it out?
Halfway up their forearm. That's how they catch these things. Can you imagine fucking doing that?
I don't like when my foot hits something at the beach that
Slimy?
feels a little like it's not a rock
Yeah, yeah,
Right.
or
yeah.
a shell or
Yeah.
something. You're like, I don't know what that is. I can't get away from it fast enough.
Yeah. And you don't
I'm
know if it's
trying
just
to
part
run.
of the larger thing?
Right.
Like
Right.
you just, that's just the
Yes.
eyelid of
Yes.
something that's the side of a car.
Yeah, you don't want to. Oh, it's fucking creepy. Something brushes against your leg,
Oh, it's
which was
horrible.
probably like seaweed or something. But
No,
to me, it's a giant monster.
I just
Yeah.
wear crunchy shoes now. Just crunch everything. I don't give a
Do ya?
fuck. Yeah,
I think
used
that's a
to-
good idea to wear those. The
I like
ones
those
that-
scuba
that-
booties that zip
all
up
that,
on the
yeah.
side.
Tivas or whatever.
You feel-
Yeah, why the fuck would you go out there
It makes you feel
barefoot now?
safer.
It does.
Even though it's the same
you don't hurt-
danger.
I don't want
Don't
to
hurt your
step on.
feet.
I used to be petrified of. I didn't even know where they are, where they're fucking indigenous to. I was stepping on a rockfish because
Oh,
I heard
come
like
on.
rockfish has those
Yeah,
spines,
yeah, right
and they
into you.
put poison in you, and
Yeah.
you're pretty much dead.
Yeah.
I'd be at the beach just going, oh, I'm gonna step on a rockfish.
Really?
Yeah, I always thought I was stepping on a rockfish.
Or
as a
even
kid.
fucking jellyfish, man. I
They
mean,
hurt.
Yes.
I never got
They
bit by
suck.
one of those.
Never.
Those are terrible.
Oh, they
No.
fucking suck when you get stung.
Or barracudas, or
That-
more eels,
And then
whatever, all of it.
Long
all
Island,
of
we
it.
had horseshoe crabs too.
They're not going to hurt you, though.
I know, but as a kid, it's that big spiny thing, and your friends tell you they fucking stab you with
It's
it.
terrifying looking.
It is.
But they're very slow.
Oh yeah.
But maybe in the water.
In
I
the
don't
water,
know.
you're very slow. Try, yeah. And that's just another thing. Like you could be king shit on dry land.
Yeah.
You're fucking top of the food chain and everything. You drop quite a few levels as far as the
right.
food chain
In
In
goes
the water,
once you're in that water.
you're a bouillon cube.
Yes.
Mark,
yeah.
you should go diving. And
I
you'll
should.
realize that, first of all, it's almost impossible to see a fucking fish. I don't even know where the fuck
I did
they all
snorkel.
are.
I snorkel.
Oh.
And if you do see a fish, you realize they fucking run away. They swim
Yeah, they're
away from
scared.
you immediately. They're scared shitless of
But
us.
I went snorkeling in Kauai, and I like doing it.
Right.
But when you get the snorkel going, you get out on the reef, and then you see that drop off at the edge of the reef.
Cool,
and,
right?
And then, it's cool, but still, like, I can't stop from seeing something coming out of that darkness.
You look out there and you're like,
that's just a mouth.
it's never ending.
Yeah. Yeah.
And something could
It's
just come right at me.
right at
and
me.
what am I going to do?
And it's always huge.
Yes.
Right.
Giant.
Like, it's something like that you've never seen before. Like, you've imagined it.
You'd be looking, going, what is that something moving? And then before you know it, it's like, oh my God, it's a giant monster coming for me.
Right, a monster.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, the whole island just lifts up.
You think it's a tiny fish, and then it's the big reveal where it's as big
Right.
as a fucking
Giant.
Yeah, the tiny fish is just on some sort
And
of
he's just
weird
doing
line.
that, doing that thing coming at you. Back
Yeah,
and
yeah,
forth,
yeah, yeah.
swimming, and you're like, I can't fucking outrun this.
Just bubbles.
Yeah. You just hear, just fucking petrified, screaming underwater.
Just cloud of blood. Yeah, cloud of blood.
Watching your own blood rise up around you. That's terrible.
half of you starts bobbing.
Oh, just
Your
horrible.
girlfriend's like waving.
What do you die from first? Like the loss of blood for being bitten in half, or do you get drowned, or what the? It just seems
Either
like
way, it's
something
only a
I
few
don't
seconds
want.
for you to think about it.
I would gather, right?
I can't breathe and I'm half gone.
No.
Mark, you've been busy. Holy
yeah.
shit.
I'm doing like I'm here because I'm doing panel on Letterman for the first time ever on Wednesday.
Oh,
Congratulations on that.
Yeah, it's been a lot of things where you spend your like I've done stand up on there a few times over the 25 years, but not a lot.
Are you nervous doing panel?
Well, I know how to do it, but it's Dave, and he's like my guy.
Yeah.
And I've been watching him since day one when I was in college, and as a comic, you're sort of like when he moved. And he only took a few panel guys with him as far as stand-ups. Like I thought in my mind, well, that's over. I'm never going to do panel with him.
Right.
Like, and now it's happening, and I feel like, all right, so I can quit. Like I think like there's part of me that feels like that was some great goal achieved. I mean, hopefully I don't get bumped or something. But yeah, I'm nervous because I want to, I mean, he's the best, so I don't think I'm going to flounder.
You won't get bumped for a panel.
I don't think so.
Nah.
But I'm just trying to figure out what things to do because I want to do well, and because I don't get nervous, but I know I'm going to be sitting there. Like I did Jay Leno for the first time ever, and I don't really watch Jay, but when I was pushing the book and pushing the show, I'm like, well, why not do it? It was kind of interesting because he came into the dressing room before I went on for like a half hour.
Yeah, we had that. We couldn't believe it. Me and Ann talked about it after the fact, going, "Don't you have a show to prepare for?" He's hanging out, having a good old time. I'm like, "Holy fuck! When does he get ready?"
Yeah, he's there, standing there in his denim shirt.
Yes, we had the same experience.
It's bizarre.
Talking cars, and he was talking about shock jocks and radio and just whatever.
Oh, yeah, I love that. I love that radio. Yeah. But he came backstage. He's like, "Yeah, I didn't think you'd do this. I didn't think you'd do my show. I thought you'd like it."
Oh yeah, the Tonight Show.
Right,
Yeah, sure.
I didn't think you like. Well, he thought I was in Conan camp.
Oh,
okay. Like he thought I was part of. And on some level, I never sought to do it because I just didn't watch it.
Right.
And it was not, and whatever. I didn't. I was not doing it on principle.
Right.
That was the truth. But then, when all of a sudden you have an opportunity, I'm pushing the book and I got the show and I'm going to do panel and I don't have to do stand up. I'm like, why not? It's still the Tonight Show, and I have that moment, the feeling. Well, it don't matter who the host is, where you see people on TV, and then when you're sitting there right next to them and the cameras are on,
oh man,
it's like you think you're just talking to somebody, but you're not.
It's crazy.
Yeah, everything is heightened, and it's happening in the moment, and you're like, oh my God, he's right there. And with Dave, I have to hide that shit because you can't sit there and go, oh my God, you're right there.
That would be a great way to open a show. Oh my God, you're right here.
You're right there.
That would be funny.
I see this on television.
Yeah, I saw you on the thing.
This is crazy.
Yeah, but I do have that feeling.
The weirdest thing. You're right, because you're sitting there looking at the face.
Yeah.
And words are coming out of your mouth. You're talking.
Right.
But you're thinking like, holy shit, am I doing this?
Exactly.
Like, this is what I've watched. Are people watching this and seeing me like I saw other people sitting there? And then you're just like, this is the most oddest fucking thing
I
ever.
get so nervous that I relax. It's almost like I'm so doomed to fail. I feel like somebody who's about to be executed and has resigned himself to the fact that my brains are going to be splattered, and that helps sometimes.
Well, yeah, when you get so anxious or nervous about something and you just go into a weird paralysis, like you just hit this peak and you're like, ugh. You're locked in,
accepting your fate.
But it happens with Conan too, where I'm sitting there looking at him because I don't know what you expect them to do. Because they're doing that every night.
Right,
it's like you guys do this every day.
Right.
So, but you're like, I've never talked to this guy before. So you're there with all this juice, and he's like, and you're like, are we talking? It's like, and then you realize that he fucking does this every night.
Right.
This is his audience. There's a camera there.
He sees it all the time.
It's not Marc Maron night. It's not the Marc Maron show for a night. I'm just a guy passing through.
Yeah.
It's hard for them to get juiced when I'm sitting there too. It's like this Tom Cruise is here tomorrow in this seat. What do I expect out of this guy? I'm lucky he's not spitting on me.
The most important moment right then and there. It's so important to you. And then them, it's like Tuesday.
Yeah, exactly.
Who are you on with? Do you know?
I don't. Can we look it up?
Yeah, I always like to check.
No, Wednesday. But it was a pretty good experience. But that's true, man. Because you get done and you're like, huh? And then it's just people cleaning up. You know, it's like another day. No, it was my day.
That was my day.
Yeah.
It's very big for me.
Can you step aside? We got to put the band's got to go in. We got to put the band.
Because they're looking at your segment the same way, with the same weight they looked at the monologue.
Yeah, don't matter.
And segment 2. Like, okay, Maron's segment was good, but segment 3 we got to. It's just one of 5 segments for Tuesday.
Exactly.
To you, it's your life.
You got Jamie Foxx.
Oh, okay.
Backstreet Boys.
Backstreet Boys top 10.
Yeah, they'll be there for the top 10.
All right. Then you got the Marc Maron.
I'm on after Jamie.
And then what's the last thing?
Wale.
Huh?
Wale.
Who's that?
He's a performer. He's like a rapper.
Oh, it's okay. All right, going to pull in the new audience.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Cuts out of your demo a little bit.
Do you know Jamie?
I'm
sure he knows you.
The only experience I had with Jamie is I saw him in the Ambassador Lounge at an airport, and I think in Austin, and he looked hungover and tired, and I made the choice not to bother him. But I stared at him for a while.
Good one.
Yeah. No, so I don't know him at all.
Yeah, I've never met him either.
He used to be a funny guy.
Yeah.
You know, but he's a very talented man, that guy.
Comics don't usually, like, I was doing Leno panel. It was my second time. I have only done it a couple of times panel. And it was supposed to be Jenna Fisher, but she canceled.
Yeah.
And they called day of, and they say, look, it's going to be Bill Maher. And I'm like, fuck, another comic? Because at the time it was McCain. It was during the 2008.
So he was loaded up for bear, that guy.
But I'm like, fuck, man. And because they knew what the topics I was going to discuss.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, you know, he's going to hit on McCain and he's going to hit on Obama.
Right.
So I'm like, what the fuck? I have to restructure this. But he was so good, man. Like, sitting next to him, you don't know what a guy's going to be
Marc
like.
He's a pro.
But he was really supportive. Like, he wasn't a dick trying to outdo you. He was having fun with it. Like, comics are usually good to each other as long as there's no fucking prior hatred there.
Right.
So I'm sure Jamie will be fine.
No, he's an actor now. I mean, he's also very funny, but I mean, he seems to be at some other level.
Yeah.
You know, I wonder when the last time he did comedy really was.
Been a while.
I think it's probably been a while.
Long time.
Yeah.
I'm just happy if I'm on the show with somebody who I know who they are, one, and that I have some respect for.
Yeah,
great.
yeah.
You know?
Well, I got to go back to the lake thing for you because you said nothing could hurt you in the lake.
Okay.
I forgot. I forgot for a second. My brother's a marine biologist. And he just wrote.
Forgot that?
I did forget that for a second. He just texted me. He said, "I think it's pronounced muskellunge will take your arm off in a lake."
A muskellunge?
So I just want to. I want to Google image muskellunge.
Let's get that up
there. M-U-S-K-E-L.
Yeah.
That should be the muscle part, and then lunge. L-U-N-G-E.
There's dice.
Is that a replay?
I don't know.
What's he on?
In New York?
I think it's a replay.
I think they're on vacation.
Yeah, I think they're on vacation. All right, Google image this. This thing will take your arm off in a lake. There you go.
Yeah, look at Dice in his sunglasses and knickers.
Yeah.
Right. And
he looks good, though. He looks thin.
He looks good, yeah.
Yeah, that's gotta be. There.
Oh, God.
There you go.
That's a monster.
Looks like a barracuda mixed.
Wow, look at them teeth.
A big thank you to my brother.
Sturgeon.
Holy.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't need to know that's in a lake.
It's a troutacuda.
Yeah.
A troutacuda.
Yeah.
I didn't need to know this.
Yeah.
I kind of felt like lakes were kind of a safe haven.
And he said that could take your arm off?
No problem, he said.
No problem.
No problem. Look at the teeth on the fucking
those are
thing.
some big teeth.
Let me see that thing, though.
Look at that guy. He looks like this just ate my child.
He does look disturbed.
Yeah,
He
he's
looks
gonna
very
dump the
scared.
Kinder boy out all over the dock.
That'll take your arm off. Muskellunge, I hope I'm
Just a
pronouncing it right.
license
I don't
plate.
know. Fuck.
How do you spell it?
M-U-S-K-E-L-L-U-N-G-E. Did that from my brain, by the way. Just now.
Oh, I got a text from my fiance.
Aww.
Just woke up on the couch. Miss you so much.
Aww.
She always falls asleep on the couch. She doesn't like to go into bed without me.
Wow,
I'm in
you
trouble.
got it. You
Yeah.
got it bad.
Have you had it this bad?
I did years ago.
That's gone now. That's all over.
I did years ago.
I'm actually, I feel more affection for the actual couch than I do for people I've dated recently.
See, the sad thing is like I never knew this part of me. I got to be honest with you.
Wow,
Really?
so this is new.
But I'm not sure it's a good thing. Like the last two wives, I destroyed and drained.
Right.
You know, like I really didn't know the difference between what I wanted and what they wanted. You know, like for me, like I was just a selfish, angry fuck.
Sure.
And I think there's something I'm trying to make up for here by overcompensating to the point where I might as well be wearing a fucking apron all the time.
Did you now have you worked through all that? Like you were married, obviously, and there were problems because of well, it can't just be one-sided, I'm sure, her, but also yourself. You seem to have been dealing with a lot of issues and anger and stuff. Have you changed? Are you a different person as far as those
Look, yeah, because like the thing is like you would think not because of the Washington thing. But that doesn't happen much.
The Washington thing.
The Washington incident.
Yes.
The Washington incident. But no, we're going to counseling. Like I've learned that for me, like I think like date 3 or 4 should be couples counseling.
Wow.
So, yeah, right in. No, but no, we started going because I couldn't wrap my brain around having a baby. So we started to go for that. Here's the weirdest thing though, man. So my buddy who's a therapist, he recommends his therapist for us to go to couples counseling to work through stuff, right? So I go to this guy and we both go and it's a good start. And he says, my wife is also a therapist and we can see you together. Like, if you want, he said that Jessica, my fiance, could see his wife and I could see him and then we could all meet together.
That's weird.
But it makes sense. But it is fucking weird.
Yeah.
You're sort of like, when we all meet together, it's sort of like a dinner party where there's no food and I'm losing money.
You're paying the tab.
But there's this weird, but
what's going to be a secret though? Like, what if you say something to him in confidence and then all of a sudden it comes out with the 4 of you? Like,
well, you sign a weird thing. There's definitely a team thing because every time we go, especially if we meet with both of them, she's already made him the enemy. So, but I think that's kind of the genius of it. Like, it's like he doesn't get me at all. And I'm like, oh really? I don't know. I think I told him some stuff. So, but I don't know what they talk about, together. Like, I'd like to think we leave and they sit there and go, all right, here's the angle.
Right.
But I don't fucking know. But I'm not. There's some things I have to assume.
What do you have to sign this weird?
Well, you got to say that they can talk about you guys.
Oh, okay.
Like, that it's a collective thing. Like, so they're going to discuss.
So it's not breaking doctor-patient confidentiality.
Right,
okay.
Right, with the 2 of them.
Yeah.
So you guys leave, forget about it. They're probably like, they are doomed. They are fucking doomed.
Yeah, but that's what
There's a huge problem there. Oh, you think he's bad? Wait till you find out what the fuck she's on. Oh, yeah. They do this. They probably talk about it while they're fucking, and like, it's the only way they could get off. Is like discussing other couples' misery.
Well, there was one point where, she was talking, and I was starting to steam, man.
Oh, shit.
And you got to let them talk, and I'm like, oh, that's fucking ridiculous.
That's bullshit.
And then, literally, I don't remember who was guiding the question, but the wife and the therapist couple, she goes, this isn't going well. And I'm like, oh, you mean you don't have a plan? Someone's got to have a plan, because I'm about to fucking leave.
Holy shit.
So, I didn't leave.
Yeah.
But but the anger thing is better. We're not doing that.
You're not in
Things
that
are better.
Angry place.
The ex-wife thing is done. I wrote the book. There's stuff in there. That book, for me, was a purging. Like, my father's not talking to me. The ex-wife,
wow.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah, I think I threw him under the bus a little.
What'd you say about him that he objected to?
Everything.
Oh, really? Okay.
Well, yeah, because, I was doing shows and stuff. Like, my father has never paid attention. I don't even think he fucking listened to the podcast, and he's been on 3 of them.
Oh, shit.
Like, I didn't tell him he was on, but who cares?
Right.
So, but the thing is that when he started to get wind that the IFC show had a character in there based on him, who was a bipolar kind of guy, but it was Judd Hirsch. I mean, arguably a better father. So... But he got wind of it, and then I start getting these emails. Like I told him, I said, there's a couple episodes with the dad character, but I went easy, and I'm not, he was concerned that I would reveal certain things that I wouldn't do it. But, I don't think, the bipolar thing is, it's not a big secret. I mean, like my friend Marc Spitz says, it's like diabetes. Everyone's fucking bipolar.
Right. Plus, it's also a fictional / real character.
Right. There was a lot of fiction to it. But, so he got wind of that, and he started getting nervous. Right. So about a week before the show goes on, I get this call. He's like, so what did you do? What'd you say on the show? I was like, it's going to be fine. He goes, what channel is it on? And I go, it's on IFC. He goes, no one gets that, right? I don't get that. But not even thinking it was an insult. Right, he was like, I'll be all right, because no one will see it. So then, the commercials start running. I get an email. He's like, a lawyer friend saw the commercial. And, I'm not going to go that route. But I'm just saying that, maybe he wanted to negotiate something.
Right.
Your dad?
Yeah. He said, I might sue you, right? Basically. But then it got all crazy. He was just freaking out because he's crazy. He's a megalomaniacal guy. So he thought, it was all about him. And then all of a sudden, he started paying more attention to me in that week than he ever had my entire life. He had a Google search on me. He was sending me emails going, I just read the thing from 1997. Very interesting. Oh,
wow.
Because he felt like I gotta see how he's gonna take me on. So he watched and did everything.
Is he self-centered?
Yeah, he's self-centered. He's bipolar, and he's completely narcissistic. And I think I think he just saw me as a limb, like a limb that got away. Like, that's my other hand.
Wait, can I stop you for a second? What kind of relationship did you guys have? What kind of father was he? Just give us the basics here.
Well,
when you were growing up,
he was a guy that was very self-involved. He was a doctor, so he was always out. But when he was around, everything sort of revolved around whatever thing he was doing, whether it was rage or whether it was hey, let's go skiing. It's very weird when you have a manic depressive father because when they plan it, they're excited, but the vacation might be sad.
Wow.
We're going to Yosemite, and then like weeks later you're in Yosemite. He's like, I don't want to live. Sounded like a good idea.
Oh my god!
But
that'd be a horrible vacation.
I knew there was a reason why I liked you.
But you got that too?
I got a mom.
Oh,
very similar.
Bipolar?
Very similar shit.
Yeah, it's weird.
She's got OCD and other things going on. I don't know, but it's always about her. Always,
right. So
always.
Now I wrote this book, and like I'm reading it.
See, I want to write a book, but I'm waiting for the day
that she dies.
Yeah,
you should just write it, and then she dies. You have a final chapter.
Well, no, I think that maybe you can kill her while she's alive. Emotionally.
She's aware enough that she knows that, there will be some kind of book eventually.
Yeah.
Me and Aunt still got to write a book, and I want to write a separate book, but she's aware, but she's sort of hinted like, could you maybe wait till,
but I know
after I'm not around anymore?
Yeah. I know that I feel bad because I'm not talking to him. Like, he's not talking to me. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, you didn't really.
Oh.
How much older is he than you?
Just a few years.
Just basic?
He's like, what is he? He's like 75, maybe?
So, he's relatively young now.
But in my mind, I went easy on him. But it was still pretty gnarly, because, because it's hard when you write memoir stuff. It's like, this is my life. There are other people involved in it. How much are you going to...
What was the story that got him?
I don't even know if he read it. He talked to my brother, and he claims that he didn't read it. He hasn't watched the show or anything else. But, I put one of his crazy emails in there, and, I told this story about, about his father's funeral that I was at, and something he did. And just, I think I feel a little guilty, but, I feel good about it. Because there's part of me that thinks, like, this had to happen. Now he knows I'm a separate person, and now he knows that, maybe, I got to call him. Let's do it on the air. I gotta call the guy. It's just because when you do something, there's part of me that thinks like when you do something and you realize like, oh fuck, there's no putting that back.
Right.
Sure. Yeah, that's done.
Does your brain ever slow down? I know we've asked you over the years.
Yeah, it does.
Because there's always something going on in your head. How do you get it to slow down and just like fucking chill?
Yeah, just lock in on porn. Sometimes
porn.
And it shuts down everything else that's going on.
Kind of.
Because you're a brilliant comic, and one of the reasons you really are, and one of the reasons you always got shit going on in your head.
Yeah, but it's always about me, and sometimes I think that's draining. Recently I've hit this wall where I'm doing the podcast, I'm doing my stand-up. I'm like, I gotta start watching television or something. I'm tapped out. I don't know how much crisis I can generate. I was on stage in Buffalo, and I had this moment where I'm like, I am so sick of hearing about myself. I can't fucking take it anymore. Yeah. And I said that to the audience. I started a bit, and I'm like, I can't do this. And they're looking at me, and most of them are my people, and I'm like, I don't know what we're going to do right now. And they're like, what the fuck is happening? And for like 45 seconds, I'm like, just wait this out. Just wait it out.
That's awesome. I would have loved to see that.
And they're just like...
They're just sitting there.
Nice.
But luckily, now, enough people are familiar with me where they're like, yeah, he does this sometimes. But like, I was like, all right. And then I locked into talking about the buffalo wings or something, but I'm just tired of it.
There are times where I envy Seinfeld. Like, it must be so nice, because you obsess over yourself, or I obsess over myself. Right. It must be so nice to just look at everything else and find them interesting.
Right. Like I used to do politics, I used to do everything. At some point, I'm like, none of that matters because I'm the problem. So let's talk about me as if I'm a country.
Right.
And now I'm getting to that point where I'm like exhausted. It's exhausting.
It's very exhausting to always have to find new things to not only talk about, but find the twist in and make funny and make interesting.
Right.
It's a very tough thing to do.
Wow. I got to start looking at other stuff like the Kardashian problem.
Once in a while, something else is interesting, and it's hard.
I'm out of the dialogue. I literally am so consumed on Twitter with fucking, my shame parade on Twitter, engaging. You do it too, but I mean, you seem to have more fortitude with it. But I don't get I don't think I got the news about Paula Deen until I saw your fucking Twitter feed. I'm like, well, did something happen? And I have to go over there and get caught up. Like I'm that detached.
Yeah, you need to plug
I gotta
in
watch the news
a little bit.
What do you think of Paula Deen? What do you think of that whole situation?
Well, she's a little ignorant and very insensitive.
But it's something she did 30 years ago, man.
No, I mean it's going to take a long time for
and it wasn't even that bad what she did.
For people like her to culturally sort of grow up. I don't think that she hates black people. I don't think that she's a racist. I just think she comes from a different time.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, that's what I think on her.
I can't get enough of the tightrope guy.
Oh, that guy.
Who's going to be on our show tomorrow, by the way? Nick Willenda will be in studio.
Yeah, he'll be in here tomorrow.
We should put a piece of tape across and then clap while he walks.
Wow. Yeah, apparently Jesus did it.
Yeah.
Right?
You saw it, right?
I did. Yeah,
that was amazing to watch.
It's fascinating.
Jesus, Lord.
I don't know how the fuck they do it.
Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Jesus.
But the sad thing about something like that is that if he did fall off, people have been like, well,
it'd be a better show. Yeah.
It's like,
it happens.
What do you think was going to happen?
Imagine if his mantra,
That's what we were all half waiting for.
Right, yeah.
Completely. But his mantra is, Jesus, I love you, thank you for the win. Imagine if his mantra was, eat a bag of shit, fuck your mother's cunt, you piece of garbage, die of AIDS, die of AIDS.
You're halfway there.
It was all my inner dialogue.
That's pretty amazing shit, though. But New York City shut him down. We're not going to deal with his crap.
He's not
tightroping.
Well, I think Bloomberg's sort of like in New York in general is like, do we need to have problems we don't need to have?
Right.
Yeah.
There's enough shit going on. Do we have to have clutter the streets?
Yeah, we don't have to import problems. Like from the outside.
Guy who did it between the towers, he did that
Philippe
completely.
Yeah, he just
1974.
But that was in the days before,
security.
You go up with your fucking equipment and
like no one stopped him. He was bringing
set up a line.
He was bringing a whole tightrope into the Twin Towers. No one stopped him.
They had to throw a line.
No arrow. They started with an arrow and then they whatever. I saw the documentary. It was wonderful.
That's
what city would do the tightrope thing would be Buffalo. Bringing it back around.
If you could find a building that
Buffalo is begging for Nick.
Why does he do the falls?
Well, they did the falls.
Oh, they did?
He did the falls, but they forced him to wear a safety wire.
Oh, I love the falls.
And it was on ABC.
But I'm telling you, I think Buffalo, I had Ted's hot dogs, excellent.
Can I tell you something?
What?
Go back to Niagara Falls in the winter when the whole thing's frozen.
Is that great?
Holy fuck.
It's really all frozen?
The whole thing freezes.
So no boat, you just walk out there? Can you walk on the water?
Well, not the whole thing, but I mean the falls itself is frozen. The water's still coming down behind it, obviously.
Yeah.
The outer shell.
It's a rush, man. It's a rush.
Did you go right to the side?
Yeah. Yeah, we were on the boat.
No, I'm up top where you see the water and right at that fucking corner.
Right, I have to fight the urge to jump.
Isn't that weird?
What's that?
You don't have that? If I'm on a high building,
I think about it. You're like,
I think my mind says it, but
I think most people have that.
Right, no,
you don't, but you think like...
the sad thing about me is I think if I were hanging off a building, that like in my mind would be like, it's easier to let go.
Wow, than to climb back up.
Right, then they're like, because then it's just, there's some part of me that's like, just let go.
It's funny, that's the exact opposite reaction I have for everything in my life that's in turmoil. And that's the proper reaction. Just let go. The only time you think of it is on a building.
Oh, Marc, man. That podcast is terrific, by the way.
Yes.
You're still going strong.
Oh, it's
400 episodes. Good for you.
The Iggy Pop thing's pretty good. Cheech and Chong on Thursday.
Yeah, you tell me a little bit about that behind the scenes here. It was nice to hear.
I got to tell you something. This fucking movie industry is crazy.
Bad? It's crazy means bad?
Yeah. It's amazing that because you hear it's like, oh, this film cost, it had a budget of $50 million, $100 million. And then you look. These people have been standing around, milling about the hallways for hours. And any time I've been on a movie set, it's the same thing. It's a lot of people, more people than it really seems like they need.
Yeah.
Milling about for hours.
Hi, Kenny.
Yeah, to shoot for 2 seconds.
Yes.
Usually. Yeah, it's crazy.
Kenny?
They told a funny story about when Jim did his fight scene with Dominic.
Yes.
Yeah, how your pants kept falling down and they were seeing your height.
Yeah, I told him I had
what
to sign
show was that?
That was on Bored to Death when Lombardozzi and I did that. We kidnapped Jason Schwartzman.
You got the same crew here? They remember you from that?
One of the guys was on.
Yeah.
Very cool.
I had to sign a nudity waiver.
Yeah.
The camera...
They're all like local New York people and...
The camera guy worked on Sling Blade.
Did he really?
He filmed, he was the camera guy for Sling Blade.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I was talking to him outside.
It's cool.
He said during the...
We have Carl on the board.
Get the fuck out! During that scene, he was looking at him, at the cameraman, and he came over later. Dwight Yoakam said, like, I just needed someone to look at.
Wow.
That's pretty cool.
And the kid, he was, pretty young back then. It was 3 or something like that. And he was like, why is he yelling at me?
We got to wrap here, right?
Yeah, we got to take a break.
Come in and shut up.
Yeah, they're gonna.
Why don't we get
today? Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, we're throwing.
We might be done
Marc.
today. We're not sure.
We don't know because they might have to set up.
Okay.
We have no idea, but just get the plug in just in case.
Oh, the plug is the last 2 shows of my IFC show, Maron, are going to be on this Friday. The book Attempting Normal is available.
Are you happy with book sales?
Yeah, everything's going pretty good. It's not.
Are people still buying books?
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah, I think digitally downloading it and
it's
stuff?
going well. People are liking the book. The people that the exciting thing about the book and the show is that there's a lot of people like, I didn't know who the fuck you were. Like this, you get in this bubble. You think like, how could people not know who I am?
Hey, come on.
And then you're like, why would they know who I am?
Right.
But it's all going good. Yeah, everything's fine. In terms of I'll be on Letterman on Wednesday. So thanks for having me.
Absolutely.
I've been watching the roller coaster for a long time with you.
You're fucking blessed.
Thanks.
We love you, brother. We might be back. We don't know.
Yeah,
we don't know what the hell's going on with this this big Chris Rock thing today. But
what are people supposed to do? I don't know. They might come back.
Stick around or don't.
They're like, we don't. They're like, whatever. We don't give a fuck.